Hey y'all, welcome and/or welcome back to my channel. My name is Janae, if you didn't know, and today's video is another missing persons case. So if you're ready, let's go. Alright y'all, so we're just going to be jumping right into it today, and today we're going to be talking about Brittany Shante Robinson. She was born on January 27, 1998 to her parents Tiana Robinson Hogue and Demetric Hooper in Mobile, Alabama. Brittany was described as a family-oriented person. She was smart, she was kind, and it's said that she loved hard. And in the summer of 2014, Brittany was a 14-year-old girl who was just pretty much excited to go to high school. She would be going to Murphy High School come fall, and she was just super excited to be going into high school. And she was signed up for AP classes. And y'all know those classes are reserved for the smart people. I went to AP classes. So like I said, Brittany was a really smart girl. And at this point in her life, her parents aren't together, and they haven't been together for quite a while now. And her dad was the type of dad who was like an in and out type of dad. And Brittany, she wanted so badly to have that father-daughter relationship with him. And so every time he reappeared in her life, despite the fact that her mom, Tiana, really wasn't feeling it, she would allow Brittany to spend time with her dad and to try to build that relationship. Like I said, she wasn't really too happy about it because he literally provided no financial support, no physical support. He was, like I said, an in and out type of dad. And being a parent, I can understand that she was probably just trying to protect her child's emotional well-being. But at the same time, she didn't want to be the person who kept her daughter from her dad. So like I said, she did allow visits between Brittany and her dad, Demetric. And so it was pretty much just a normal occurrence when on June 14, 2012, Brittany was set to go spend 2 days, like just a weekend, with her dad. And so Demetric's sister, Sierra Hooper, she picked Brittany up and dropped her off to her brother. Like I said, the arrangement was that Brittany would spend those 2 days with her dad and then she would be returned home to Tiana. However, when those 2 days was up, Brittany was not returned to Tiana. And because of this, Tiana started calling Demetric. Now, Demetric would reply to her, but he would only reply to her via text messages. Like anytime she would call, she wouldn't get an answer, but he would text her back. And so I guess they were communicating through text. And I don't know the context of the text messages, but whatever the case was, the back and forth text messaging went on for about 3 days until Demetric stopped communicating altogether. And once he did this, Tiana called his mom to kind of figure out, like, okay, where is he at? Because he was supposed to bring me my baby back, and he haven't brought her back. I mean, if he want to spend more time with her, cool, but like, don't just stop talking to me, right? So when she did get in contact with Demetric's mom, his mom told her that he had actually stopped communicating with her around the same time that he stopped communicating with Tiana. And so now she's immediately worried. Because at first she didn't want to think the worst. Obviously, he was still texting her. And like I said, whatever was going on through those text messages, I don't know. But maybe he just wanted to spend more time with her. Maybe they wasn't ready to be done. It wasn't like she had to go to school the next day. Like, maybe, you know, she just didn't want to think the worst. But once she found out that he stopped communicating with his mom also, Tiana called the police. So Tiana explains the situation to the police, and that prompts them to go over to Demetric's house. And when they get to Demetric's house, they find that nobody's there. Demetric's not there, and neither is Brittany. And due to the fact that they couldn't get a hold of him, they didn't know where he was, and they didn't know where Brittany was, they were able to get an arrest warrant for him for custodial interference. And so Demetric's picture was put out all over the news saying that he had a warrant out for his arrest. And the police actually ended up getting a call from an unknown male who said that he was actually on a bus with him, like a Greyhound bus, with Demetric from Mississippi to Memphis. And this man said that he recalled Demetric using a phone and he could hear him saying something about going to Arkansas. But the man also said that he didn't see Brittany anywhere. So police followed this lead, and just about a month later, in August of 2012, the U.S. Marshals caught up with Demetric in Arkansas. He had checked himself into a mental health facility. Now, there was a couple different articles that said that it was a couple different things. There was one that said it was a mental health facility. One article called it a research facility. And then Tiana called it a clinical trial center. But whatever it was, he had checked himself in for schizophrenia. So he went there to, like, I guess, seek treatment for his schizophrenia. Now, Demetric did have a history of schizophrenia. Back in Alabama, he had been hospitalized quite a few times because of it. And so it wasn't like it wasn't like a new diagnosis or anything like that. But anyways, he was found at this facility with no Brittany in sight, and he was arrested on the spot. And when they arrested him, they found that he had in his possession Brittany's pink iPod, a knife, and some rope. And my question is, I don't care what kind of facility it is, if it's research, mental, or whatever, why you got knives and ropes? Is that allowed? I don't think that's allowed. So he ended up being extradited back to Alabama, and he was held in jail, and he was facing up to 10 years in prison. Now, this wasn't Demetric's first offense. He had priors for DV and like assaulting an officer or something like that, and he just had a history of not being very cooperative. But the police were actually hopeful this time that since it involved his daughter and he was the last person to be seen with her, that he would actually be cooperative this time and divulge some type of information as to Brittany's whereabouts. But that didn't happen, unfortunately, and he remained tight-lipped. He ain't said not a word. And 2 years later, in August of 2014, he would actually end up pleading guilty to the custodial interference, and he was sentenced to the maximum of 10 years. Now, at first, I was wondering why he wasn't charged with parental kidnapping, because he was the last person to be with her, and he hadn't returned her to the custodial parent. But according to an article that Tiana wrote on change.org, she said that the reason they didn't charge him with parental kidnapping is because they couldn't prove that he had kidnapped her, because there was no proof of him actually taking Brittany out of the state of Alabama. Like, nobody had seen her on the buses with him. She wasn't with him when he was found, and so they just didn't have no proof that he actually kidnapped her, I guess. And if it wasn't bad enough that Tiana had to deal with the fact that her baby was just gone without explanation, 2 years later, on November 7, 2016, that was dated. It wasn't dated for November. That's when she received it. It was actually dated for October 8th, 2016. And basically in this letter, it said that Demetric would be being released on December 11, 2016 for good behavior. Now, he was originally sentenced to 10 years, and it's 4 years later now. And Tiana is getting a letter saying that he's going to be out. No parole, no hearing, no nothing. He's just getting out on good behavior. And that's exactly what happened. On December 11, 2016, Demetric Hooper was released from prison and is allegedly living in Florida. And Brittany is still missing. There's been no signs of Brittany. He has not said anything about the whereabouts of his daughter at all. Tiana said that Demetric has shown no concern or remorse regarding Brittany's disappearance. And just 3 days ago now was Brittany's 25th birthday, and Tiana wrote on her Facebook page saying, "Happy birthday, Brittany. Missing you like crazy. Your beautiful smile and your big heart. Hashtag never losing hope." And it's just really sad because there are no answers. The one person who could potentially say where Brittany was last ain't said nothing. And police are still searching for Brittany. She's described as a black female, 5 feet in height, weighing 150 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. And there has been an age progression photo of what Brittany would look like at 24 years old. But yeah, that is pretty much all the information that there is about Brittany Shante Robinson. If anybody has information, please contact your local authorities. Yeah, that's pretty much all we have on this case. Brittany is still missing, but hopefully one day she will be found and be brought home to her family. But yeah, that is all I have for this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one.